Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about some new yogurt recipes that I've made that are just rocking my world. I've been making them for the last couple of months, and many people have asked me for these specific types of yogurts. People have been asking about goat yogurts, non-dairy versions, some raw versions. And so I've been experimenting with a whole bunch of different ones. And I've got non-dairy versions of Reuteri and Yogurt Plus. And a Probiotic Pro member gave me a recipe that was made with cashew and coconut milk. And it worked with Reuteri and Yogurt Plus. And boy, was it good. It is just one of the best tasting non-dairy versions of Reuteri yogurt I've ever tasted, and Yogurt Plus. It is thick and creamy, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I've made it many, many times. It doesn't seem to separate at all, like other non-dairy versions of Reuteri or regular versions. And I changed her recipe a little bit. I left out the honey, and I added a little bit more prebio. And you can experiment with your own version too, but it has worked really, really well, and it is such a winner. I also made some goat milk yogurts that people have been asking me for, Reuteri and Yogurt Plus. And I also made a raw yogurt made with gelatin because I was doing a version of raw milk that I used powdered milk, because whenever you make a raw milk yogurt, you never heat it high enough to denature the lactoglobulins in the milk, which allows it to form a thick curd. So you kind of got to put something in there to allow the curd to come together and become thick. And so I did it with gelatin, and it worked. It's more like gelatin than it is yogurt, but it still does work because people have asked me for that. So these yogurts I encourage you to make have different strains in them. They create biodiversity and support different functions of the body. Each one does something different. You know, Reuteri yogurt is very different from other ones because of the strain. It is a very specific strain that allows the body to make large amounts of oxytocin, and creates a deep sleep, creates these wonderful things that Reuteri does naturally on its own, because most people don't have Reuteri anymore because it's been killed by antibiotics. And it's a very important one. All animals have it. It's an important strain that we as humans need to really start to feel better and to function well and to keep our health at a really high level. And you can't really get Reuteri yogurt at the store. It's not really a yogurt. Technically, it's a fermented dairy. It's not a strain that most manufacturers would use because it's hard to get. It also works very differently. You have to ferment it different. You have to ferment it for 36 hours because a lot of people don't understand that you don't get any Reuteri when you're making this yogurt until hour 30 hits. And that's when it starts to go crazy and make a lot of Reuteri. So you have to ferment it for a very long time. You have to give it extra food, and you have to keep the temperature low because Reuteri likes body temperature, and it also keeps it from getting too active. So we have very specific methods in doing it, and it creates a lot of Reuteri, but you got to get to hour 36. Don't stop it before hour 30 or you're not going to get any. So, and we've tested it and figured all that out, and it makes a really fantastic yogurt that people are, oh my gosh, people are making like crazy. It can make a huge difference for your health. And so many people contact me and say, I'm finally sleeping good. It helps muscle growth. It helps your skin look younger. It does so many things that I'm going to talk a lot more about. I've talked a lot more about in many articles that I've written. And since it's very hard to acquire in supplement forms, I mean, people can take Reuteri supplements all they want, but it doesn't really work to be recolonized. And food is the best way to do that, yogurt, the Reuteri yogurt, because probiotics usually get killed in the stomach acids. And since it's in the upper gastro area that you want it, it doesn't always get back up there. So it's kind of futile to take the supplements because they just don't work. But we have found that the yogurt works very, very well to give the body the Reuteri strain that it needs. And it can make a huge difference in your life. I highly recommend it. Let me tell you some of the things that Reuteri can do. And I've had so many people contact me that they have finally gotten rid of SIBO. They have deep sleep. profound feelings of wellness and increased muscle growth, and also they don't have the recovery time after they work out. It creates oxytocin, the love hormone, which gives you that sense of well-being. And it also can eliminate IBS. It helps control candida. It really, really improves your skin and makes it have more elasticity into it, more collagen. But it also does in a very powerful way, increases muscle growth and bone density. And it's very, very good at that. And I have seen that personally myself. It also, after you work out, and like for instance, I'll lift weights, my recovery time is almost nothing. Whereas before it would take several days for me to recover, because when you break down your muscles by lifting weights, you break down those muscle fibers, they have to regrow and strengthen themselves. And it just does it really fast. And Reuteri very, very good at that. Now the Yogurt Plus that we sell, that's another yogurt culture that we sell. And it has that all-important bifidobacteria. It's one of the most important bacteria you have. It's the one your mother gave you at birth. And bifido becomes the predominant 95% more microorganism in the baby within a week after birth. And it is so important for a baby because it controls the immune system, strengthens that immune system. And Yogurt Plus has that in it. It also has Streptococci thermophilus and Lactobacillus dubuquii. Those two, and also Bulgarius. It also has Bulgarius bacteria in it as well, which is a subspecies of the other Lactobacillus bacteria. And they all work together in a perfect combination of bacteria that you need to stay healthy. And studies have shown that Streptococcus and bifido work on anxiety and depression-like behaviors. It decreases the level of harmful bacteria in the body because these become dominant. And bacteria works in numbers. And when it has enough numbers, it dominates your microbiome, getting rid of the pathogens and the harmful bacteria that don't belong there. And it's very strong that way. It also decreases the level of harmful bacteria, but increases brain-derived neurotrophic factors called BDFN, and reduces the level of tumor necrosis factors in the hippocampus, which is very important to keep your brain healthy and to keep you feeling great. So some of the benefits of Yogurt Plus, and we have a lot of Yogurt Plus recipes. Bifido, once you have a lot of good bifido in your you should have a lot of bifido. It diminishes with age, but it controls your immune function, which keeps away things like autoimmune diseases, and it helps with food allergies by restoring that missing bacteria. Most food allergies are caused by missing gut bacteria, and there's a lot of research to support that. But making homemade yogurt allows you to control the ingredients and strains of good bacteria in your yogurt. And you'll maximize the probiotics compared to store-bought yogurts, because you never know how long a store-bought yogurt is sitting on a counter, sitting in the refrigerated section in the stores, so you don't know how many probiotics, because the longer it sits there, the more those probiotics diminish. And you don't know what kind of additives and stabilizers they add to it, because they do add those because it tends to get unstable. I mean, even our yogurts can do that. So they do add those types of things to them. And we don't add those when we make these yogurts. And so it's really important to realize how you'll get twice the bang, if not 4 times the bang for your buck when you make your own yogurts, because you're going to know what's in it. The strains are going to be high counts of probiotics in these yogurts because you're making them and they have been sitting around for a while. And you want those high CFU counts, colonizing forming units, so that you know you're getting lots and lots of probiotics from the yogurt. And you want the strains that you are making in these yogurts. So it's important to understand how all these different strains work. And I like to help you do that because I think it's a lot of fun to understand this constant little universe inside of you that's digesting your food, helping you to not have food allergies or allergies in general, helps with autoimmune dysfunctions, anxiety, depression, helps sleep, helps you to absorb vitamins and minerals. They do so many things for us that we just don't know or are unaware of and take for granted. And I like to bring that to the attention. So I'm going to link the article that will have all the recipes in it that you need. And these are the recipes that we have. We have coconut cashew yogurt plus, goat milk yogurt plus, and then cashew yogurt plus. And we also have Reuteri goat superfood yogurt. So it's made with goat's milk. Cashew coconut Reuteri yogurt. And then we have just plain cashew Reuteri yogurt. So that is, and then we have, oh, I forgot about this one. We have a raw milk yogurt that's made with gelatin and not powdered milk. So that's 7 total, I think. So those are the yogurts that we have for this week that you can take a look at, because so many people ask me for these. So I have made you these, worked on them for a couple months, and they really turned out well. I'm really happy with them. I think you're going to love it, because I think these are yogurts that you can, fit into your daily diet. One of the things I've been doing with this yogurt, because we have so much yogurt now, is the cashew coconut one. I've been making ice cream with. And if you don't have one of those Ninja Creamy ice cream makers, it's really fun and easy to make. But you can also make it in a regular ice cream maker. But I use the yogurt as part of the base, along with the other ingredients. And it makes it so creamy and so delicious. These yogurts are great in raw type yogurt ice creams. And they make it super tasty and thick and rich. I had a couple this week. I had a mango one that I made. I had a chocolate one that was so good. They used the coconut cashew in that one too. That was super good. And my kids were whining. They wanted me to make some more, so I'm going to make some more today because I have so much yogurt. But anyway, I also use it in smoothies. I eat it plain. I use it in anything that calls for sour cream. I use a lot of these yogurts in place of that with dressings, salad dressings, things like that. There are just so many easy things you can do with these yogurts, and they're always fun to make. And I hope that you'll enjoy and try out some of these recipes because they're very, very good. So click on the description where the link is, and you'll see all the recipes in the article. And if you misplace it, you can always go to the recipe section on my culturedfoodlife.com website. And you'll see you can have a drop down on the recipes, and you can pick what you're looking for, whether it's yogurt with Reuteri, whether it's yogurt plus, or any type of yogurts, and they'll give you all the recipes on there too. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you'll try them, and then let me know how you like them. Drop me a note and tell me which ones you enjoy and if they turned out good for you, because it's been a lot of fun to make them. So thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next time.